Welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. Where should I be sitting? I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Facebook just flashed. Okay. So I got a question. I thought about sending like 600 links to Racks with 3 Z's who said, "Hi, Michael, is there a video on some of the marketing strategies wholesalers use in order to find deals?" And I said, instead of sending you 700 videos that I've made on this topic, I will answer it and I will deal with as many marketing strategies as I can in the 10 minutes that I have before I stop talking. So let's go through every strategy that I know people are using. So first is the granddaddy, which is direct mail. Direct mail absolutely 1,000,000% works. People think it's crazy. I don't use mail. I'm young. I'm 27. Why the hell would I send mail? The answer really is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to track. There it is. The answer is because most of the people you're going to buy houses from are not 27. Most of them are going to be 57 or older. I'm 51. And while I don't love mail, I still read the mail. So mail works. The problem with mail is that mail is expensive. And the main reason mail is expensive, and people almost never understand this, is because you need to mail the same list 6 or 7 times. If you mail a list once, you are probably flushing your money down the toilet. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You would think, well, if I'm sending a list of people that are likely to sell and they get my mail piece, why won't they just call me? And the answer is they may not see your mail, and your mail may reach them on a day they're not really interested. So you have to send it to them 6 or 7 times. So even if you have a average size list of 5,000, right? Mail just went up. It's like 43 cents now for a postcard. It's freaking crazy. So you want to send 5,000 each time. It's $2,000. You mail it 6 times, it's 12 grand. Okay. And I think you should start with a bigger list than that, but fine. So mail is number 1. Number 2 are the online methods. So PPC, which is pay per click, which is every time you do a Google search, you'll see ad. Somebody's paying every time you click. And then right below that, where it doesn't say ad, is SEO, search engine optimization, which allows you to show up early. Both of those are also very expensive. Pay per click is a fortune. I think I've month to date spent over $10,000 with Google. They are ripping my tuchus wide open. And SEO also is expensive. You can't do it cheap. I know it seems like it's something you can do cheap, but you really can't. Sorry about my reminders. Those are the 2 expensive ones. Now let's go to the less expensive ones. So the first is cold calling, right? That's either you getting on the phone and calling or paying someone to call you. Not expensive unless you're paying an expensive cold caller. You can get cheap cold callers in the Philippines who are good for not a lot of money. Now, if you're doing it yourself, which I always recommend everyone do to start, so you know what a good call is and a bad call is, I recommend everybody does it for at least a month. I would say you should use a predictive dialing system. So a predictive dialing system is Mojo, Call Tools, Ready Mode. Those companies cost about $100 a month. So it's not expensive. To get a list and skip trace the list is around $1,000, $1,500 max. So this is the cheapest way of calling people, and you're actually getting to talk to people. Another method is, so pros and cons. The pros to that is that if you're calling, you actually get to speak to people. You learn what a good lead is, what a bad lead is. Cons are you're going to get told, drop dead 1,000,000 times. Another marketing method is texting. So as opposed to just getting a Google voice number on your phone and texting, I would advise getting a texting system. So Roar, ROOR. I use Launch Control. People use Lead Sherpa. There's a lot of, REI, Reply. There are companies that do that. They probably cost between $300 and $500 when you start out. Not that expensive. You can send a lot of text. You do have to click every single time or you're not TCPA compliant. TCPA is the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, which says basically you're not allowed to send 1,000,000 texts with one click. But clicking on a mouse 150 times takes about less than a minute. So pros and cons. Pros are you're getting people are going to see your text probably the first time if they haven't blocked you. Cons are you're not really getting contacts from the people, so people are going to say things and you have to say, well, what do you mean? People are going to send you a question mark and you're not going to know if that means what the hell are you doing or hey, how could I contact you? There is some ambiguity. Also, after you send a text, you need to be near a computer because if you don't respond within a few hours, it is reasonable to assume that the people are going to think that you are full of crap, you're not real. So texting has pros and cons. It's an easy way to reach people, but you need to be someone that sits in front of a computer to respond. Another method is RVM, ringless voicemail. I use this. It's my best set it and forget it system. It's cheap, but It does not get me a lot of deals. I have it running all the time during business hours. I get a few deals a year out of it. But that's worth it for me. I got a $70,000 deal out of it a couple of years ago. That was great. I've gotten a decent... What's my most recent RVM deal? I have not gotten an RVM deal in a while. Yeah, I had a small deal, or a small RVM deal a couple months ago. Okay, so that is another method. Now, there are other methods. You can go do door knocking, right? You could do driving for dollars, right? But if you do driving for dollars, I would highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're doing that in New York, that you do some basic research on the property before you spend a nickel or any time on it. So here's what I mean. In most states, if a property looks like shit, it may be a good buy. In New York, it probably means it's somewhere in the foreclosure process. In most states, the foreclosure process is relatively quick, 6 months, a year. In New York, it's 10 to 12 years. So you've got to understand that a lot of properties that look like crap are either bank owned, already investor bought, or way underwater / reverse mortgages. Those are not deals you may want to get involved with. I would advise against them. Right? If you look at something and they went into foreclosure 10 years ago for $900,000, which means it's now probably $1.5 million, or $1.6 million. It's owed, and you can pay $200,000 for the house. It's unlikely that lender is going to agree to a short sale to get you a price that you can do. Also, reverse mortgages for me are things that I don't want to ever touch because I know a lot about reverse mortgages. I probably know more about reverse mortgages than almost anyone. I was in the mortgage business for 17 years. I started my company doing reverse mortgages. I thought they were a very good product. I still believe in them, but it's very, very difficult to find out what the balance is unless you are the borrower or you have registered as an heir of the borrower after the borrower dies. So, for example, if I look at an ordinary property and I see that they took out a mortgage 6 years ago for $300,000, and then it looks like they have a list pendants, which means they went into foreclosure 2 years later, I can assume that I can come up with a basic idea of how much is owed. But on a reverse mortgage, you never know, because we always used to record the mortgages for 150% of whatever was the maximum allowed for them to take out. Now, they didn't always take out the maximum. So if we took a mortgage and it was $400,000 max to them, we recorded a mortgage for $600,000. But they might only owe $100,000, or they might have taken the whole $400,000. And on a reverse mortgage, interest accrues on the interest. So it accelerates much faster, but you don't really know what the starting number is. So I advise people to stay away from them unless they're in direct contact with the borrower, or the borrower's heirs, and the borrower's heirs have a recent statement, or somebody has a recent statement. If you have a recent statement, then you can see really what's owed, and you can see whether this is worth it or not worth it to pursue. Any other things? What else? So joint venture is a source for where I do get deals from. So obviously, if you're new, that is something that you can do the other side of, right? So you can come to me if you have a deal. Again, 3 criteria if you're going to send me a deal. Number 1, you must be in contact with the seller. You must be. Don't tell me my friend told me about a house. Don't tell me I saw a house listed for sale. Don't ever send me a listed property. So 1 is you must be in contact with the seller. Number 2, you have to do some basic research as to what you think the property is worth. Obviously, I'm going to double check it, but you need to do that research. And number 3, you got to tell me a story about why the seller might want to sell at a discount, right? Somebody called me the other day and he's like, actually this was yesterday. He goes, my neighbor wants to sell. I think the house is worth $375. He wants $400. I'm like, why are we even talking? He's like, well, I want to wholesale it. I go, well, you need to buy it for $250 if you want to wholesale it. So unless that guy is really flexible on his 400 number, this is a waste of time, right? If you tell me those 3 things, I can usually tell you whether this is something I want to look into or not. Very often it's not. People don't really understand how it works. We have to buy properties at a significant discount in order to make a profit. And I tell that to sellers every day, and so does my team. Somebody tells me, hey, I want to sell my house. And we start asking the 4 pillars of motivation. When? Why? What condition is it in? How much do you want? If we get, if they tell us it's in perfect condition and they're in no rush and they don't have a reason, we're like, hey, listen, we need to buy properties at a discount to make a profit. It sounds like we're not a good fit. Now, if they push back, sometimes they do, because then they finally tell us the truth, then it could be a great deal. But most of the time, it's not. Those are the marketing channels that I know. I'm wondering if I forgot any. Email marketing is very, very rare. Most people don't trust email. A lot of stuff gets caught up in spam. Facebook, I am not a fan of. I bought some Facebook leads recently. They were a disaster. A lot of people are bullshitting their way on Facebook. That might just be New York. I know there are people that run their business on Facebook leads, but even the ones that are successful tell me the numbers are crazy. They need like 60 good Facebook leads. 60 good Facebook leads, as opposed to all the shit leads. To to get a deal. That's a lot of leads, right? Most of my leads I need significantly less. PPC I need much less. Even all in all, I'm about 20 leads to get a deal. So I think that's it. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the thumbs up. The algorithms have really been working in my favor. A lot more of you have been liking it, and then a lot more people see it, and then more people like it, and that's been good for me. So keep liking, keep clicking the thumbs up. Thank you. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. This came from a request from Rax with 3 Z's. So thank you for the suggestion. Please keep the comments coming. You can ask a comment about anything. Does not have to be about the video you're watching. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something that I've covered recently, I'll send you links to a video or videos on it. If it's something new, I will do a brand new video on it. Thank you very, very much for watching.